It's Paul McKenna for PT Boxing. I'm here today with David Price. How are you, David?
I'm good, Paul. Thanks, mate.
We're here today for the press conference, all or nothing. It's your return to the Echo Arena. How much are you excited for the return to Liverpool?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm not excited beyond words because it's 6 weeks away still. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. It's going to be nice to get back in front of me supporters, my fans, and it's also going to be good to be able to get back in and try and convince people who've probably gone the other way and lost a bit of faith in me. To give them something to believe in again. So it's got a lot of positives to come out of this fight.
Definitely, yeah. Just speaking there to Nisi Sauerland, and it's a good possibility that you could be fighting for the European title against Tepe. It's a good fight, David. It's a good fight at this stage of your career, I'd say.
It's a perfect fight. Not only is it for a prestigious title, which will propel me through the rankings, it's stylistically, it's a good fight for me. It's a tough opponent, but it's a fight that I'd expect to come out on top and I can look good against. So it's perfect in a couple of ways. So hopefully we can pull it off next week.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn's just been mentioning then in the press conference, the heavyweight scene, world and in Britain as well, is sort of just getting back up there again. I'd say now, like in England, you've got Chisora, Joshua, Dylan White, Tyson Fury as well. Are they all names that you'd like to be mixing it with, providing everything comes well and comes good with the European title?
We want to be involved in big fights. And like I've said in the past, you don't really need to look any further than the UK for the big fights. Them names you mentioned there, all good fighters and bring their own qualities to the ring. And that's what we're in the sport for. We're not in the sport to mess around and keep fighting in 10 rounds or 8 rounds. We want to get in there and be involved in classics. And I think we can all provide each other with that platform.
Definitely, yeah. Just speaking about some of the British heavyweights, Derek Chisora, I read a few months ago or a few weeks ago that it was a possibility that you were going to be fighting him. What is the situation there? Like, what went on?
As far as I know, my promoters and Frank Warren had a discussion about making the fight, and an offer was made to Derek, and then the offer wasn't accepted. And simple as that. That's as much as I know. So we moved on to try and make another fight.
Yeah, obviously you return to Liverpool June 26th, providing everything goes well. Obviously, are you gonna try and come back now and be fighting constantly back in Liverpool, or would you still be going back out to Germany, or what's the situation there?
No, this city is where my bread is buttered, and I like to consider myself a thoroughbred Scouser. So yeah, I'd love to be having most of, not all of my fights here again, because like I say, I love performing in front of my own fans. All told, apart from the 2 setbacks, my best performances, amateur and pro, have been in my own town. So,
yeah.
I want to carry that on.
Just again, just going back to some of the fights that are available. Eddie Hearn's mentioned a few times on Anthony Joshua that they'd be looking for that fight with yourself in maybe 8-10 months' time. Do you think that, obviously styles make fights, do you think that you have got the style to beat Anthony Joshua? And, obviously he hasn't got as much experience as you. He was in a very similar stage, Olympian, and come through, and all the hype that he's got now was similar to what it was like yourself.
Yeah, I do believe I've got the style to beat Anthony Joshua. And the sooner the better for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, his next fight against Kevin Johnson is probably going to give him a few downs, unless he's just, would make a statement by stopping Kevin Johnson early. But yeah, he's yet to take a solid shot on the chin in the pros.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's someone like myself who's taller than him, the arms are as long as his, if not longer.
Yeah.
I'm heavier than him. He's got a lot of advantages. He's got his advantages, but I do believe that it's a fight that'll come out on top.
Yeah, another one is obviously it's a good possibility that Tyson Fury is fighting Vladimir Klitschko for the heavyweight championship of the world. You've got a little bit of history with Tyson. Obviously, you beat him in the amateurs. Since then, there was that rivalry has sort of always been there. Providing he does win the world title, he did make a statement last week saying that he will give the first title shot if he comes through successful to one of the high-ranked British fighters. So, providing he does come through that well, would you take that with both arms, David?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? I'd like to see him win it, only for the potential to fight him for the title because it'd be a massive fight, and you know, if he wins it, I think it'd surprise us all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
He would be going in as the underdog, but he somehow finds a way to win. You know, when he's fighting, but he deserves his opportunity, and I wish him luck.
Yeah. And there's just one other fighter really in the mix at the minute, which is Deontay Wilder, for WBC champion. He beat Bermain Stavern and he's making his defence soon. Would that be another fight that would interest you, you know, with Wilder? And yeah.
Look, Deontay Wilder's heavyweight champion of the world. That'd be a massive opportunity for me. And again, a fight I believe that could come out on top. Deontay Wilder, although he's brutal with his punch power, he's also reckless, and there's the potential to be knocked out. And I don't have to look any further than myself because I'm also a brute puncher. Yeah. And that'd be a great fight.
Just as far as training's going and that, David, you had a few injuries last year, 1 or 2. Since the second Thompson defeat, did you parted ways with Franny Smith? Is he still training, you know, or what's the situation? Is he like a second trainer, or is he just helping out in the gym?
No, a few things happened with the training situation. I obviously parted with Franny to try and find out if, you know, I was doing anything wrong with my training or whatever. And I worked with a few different trainers. But then Tommy Brooks came over, and Franny worked alongside Tommy. You know, because Franny knows me inside out. Knows how to talk to me, knows how to get the best out of me. Knows how to respond to certain things. And eventually Tommy moved on somewhere, and Franny took the reins again, which is only right really, because you know, everything we did worked up until a certain point. And the first Tony Thompson fight was just it's still in my eyes just a unlucky night for me. You know, it could have gone completely different. And the second fight, Franny didn't train me for it. The training was done by Lennox Lewis, and the programme was set by Lennox Lewis. And I overtrained for that fight. It showed in the performance.
Looking back on that second fight, obviously, as you just said, trained by Lennox Lewis, must be a great thing to do as a fighter, being able to train with Lennox. But do you think that maybe didn't come through as a positive in the end?
No, it didn't work out how I would have preferred, obviously, because it didn't win the fight. If it had won the fight, you know, it would have been the best thing ever. And the thing is, about that fight, I was at my worst physically and mentally. I wasn't in great shape. You know, and I had everything going against me, but still would, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I beat Tony Thompson because he was down for 10 seconds, and it could have gone completely the other way, but it didn't. And I can't change it, but if that was the case, it would have been the best thing we ever trained with Lennox. I got in the ring that night already exhausted. I tried to do a media workout the week of the fight, and was like a bag of shite. You know, I was tired after 2 rounds on the pads, and you know, I was always going to be up against it. And like I said, with everything going against me, still nearly came out on top against a good fighter.
Well, that's it for us today, David. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you. And good luck for June 26th as well.
Good luck with your video.
Thank you.